It's time for another Dice Tower review from Gamers Remorse.
Hello and welcome back to Gamers Remorse. Today, we're going to play Shadow Shift, and these jerks are going to steal some stuff, and I'm going to stop them.
No, you're not.
I might.
No, you're not.
Shadow Shift is a game by Fancy Squid Games for 2 to 5 players. Takes about 20 to 30 minutes to play. In Shadow Shift, stealth is the name of the game. Criminal players guide their thieves through the darkened maze of corridors, using subterfuge, bluffs, misdirection, and cunning to be the first to reach the vault's doors. The security guard player must use his 2 guards and powers of deduction to uncover which of the warehouse's many shadows conceal the criminals. The basic gameplay is fairly simple. The game begins with the thieves placing shadows on the board. The shadows are discs with either a shadow on the bottom side or a thief's identity. From then on, each thief player needs to recall where their thief discs are in order to move them towards the vaults. Each player rolls 2 dice at the beginning of their turn. Then the player chooses 2 discs to move, 1 for each die roll. Any thief is able to move any shadow disc on their turn. Sometimes, that means moving another thief's thief token. At the same time, the guard player rolls 2 dice and moves the 2 guards, each guard for each dice roll, in an attempt to try and take a look underneath the shadows. If a guard is able to view a shadow directly, then the guard is able to flip over the shadow to reveal if the shadow is a thief. If a thief is spotted, then that player is eliminated and the thief token is removed from the game. The guard cannot see around corners, and the guard cannot see through walls, or the thick black lines shown on the board. The first thief to make it to the vault wins. Unfortunately, this game is not terribly exciting to watch, as there is a great deal of metagaming. As such, I've decided to fast forward through a lot of the gameplay, but it represents a good idea of how the game is played. In addition, I've decided to highlight the characters so you can see how the various players attempt to stealthily move their thieves towards the vault.
Well, before I go into the rubric, let me just say that I really did like this game. It was a little bit like the strategy of chess meets the deduction of another game meets memory. Right? So the deduction of like Mr. Jack, let's say, or Nuns on the Run, or something like that. A, I'm not a fan of memory, and B, this game has player elimination, and that's one of the things that I am deeply bothered by a lot of games, just because, I mean, that usually means if someone gets eliminated, they're sitting out for a period of time where they could be enjoying the game in some element of it. I don't know if they should be able to play one of the guards, that way when one player gets eliminated, they come back, right, and the guards are twice as strong then or something. That way there would be a little bit more cooperation between the thieves, because they wouldn't want someone to get eliminated. I don't know. Either way, I'm going to go right into my rubric. Quality components 0 to 2. I'm giving it a 1.5. I thought the artwork was really well done. I don't know, like there's little grates on here that you enter. The vaults are well done. There's little footprints around the grates. That was a cute little addition to it. Overall, I thought the artwork was pretty well done. I gave it a 1.5 because it probably could have been a little bit better. This is a Gamecrafter game, which means there is some assembly required, which is kind of, annoying, but understandable at the same time. The Gamecrafter is a print-on-demand type service, so you don't expect it to be assembled as part of that. Overall, I really did like the artwork, and I thought it was well put together. Good balance of skill, deluxe 0 to 1. I'm giving that a 0.5 just because this game does use a lot of dice. So I'm rolling, snake eyes, and Nate over here is rolling double sixes. There's a lot more you can do with a double 6 versus 2. I'll give it a 0.5 for that. Analysis paralysis 0 to 1. I'm giving that a 0.5. Like chess, someone could potentially sit there and just, I don't want to, maybe I'll, With our group of gamers here, it actually wasn't that bad. And it could be because you are limited. You can move 2 different pawns, 2 different numbers of spaces, but I could really see someone just sitting back and going, okay, all right, I can move 2 things, 5 spaces each. Let me think about that for 5 minutes while you guys slowly get angry at me. So, 0.5 for that. Theme, 0 to 2. I'm giving it a 1.5. I mean, it wasn't immersive, but at the same time, when I was playing the thief, I really felt like I was a thief, trying to silently prowl, around in this stock room, or I don't know what it is, a warehouse with vaults.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
Don't all warehouses have vaults holding top secret government documents?
I mean, that makes sense. So, and then when I was the guard, it was very, I don't know, I felt like I was constantly looking around, like, what's going on here? What's going on there? I saw something move, I better go investigate. And then, of course, that was my downfall.
Yeah.
But I really thought that was really good. So 1.5 for that. Thrill versus competitive, 0 to 2. Absolutely. There is tons of thrill in this game. I really enjoyed that part of this game. And was it fun? 1 to 2. As I said, I abhor player elimination. I really don't like that part of any game. And so I'm giving it a 1 for was it fun. And then additionally, I'm giving it a demerit of 1 point for player elimination. It just rubbed me the wrong way. We had played previously and I was eliminated, and I mean, that was okay because there was still a lot going on and I could watch, but I could imagine what if the game went longer. So in this playthrough, it went a lot longer because we decided, let's move all the pieces. Because last time we just moved the thieves and it was somewhat obvious, right? And then it ended pretty fast, but I think player elimination should be avoided at all costs. Either way, I gave it a 6, which is still a great score.
Yeah, like Sean said initially, I enjoyed this game greatly, as will be evident as we walk through my rubric. But I mean, I think this is a great game in the thief evasion category. The games such as Fury of Dracula, Scotland Yard, the Mr. Jack series. This goes right alongside those games. I don't think it would Jones out in any of those games per se, but I think it's a great way to fulfill that in another means. So jumping into my category, as far as visuals, I give that a 1.5. I really liked the visuals in this game. There are a few things that I think could have been done a little better. There are points where we're like, is that a wall or is that just heavy shadow? Some of that stuff could be done a bit, maybe by using a different color for the walls as opposed to black, or doing something that would make them stand out a bit more. Same with having them along the crease. There were times just like, can I walk through there, or is it just the shadowing cast by the crease? We weren't sure at times. But other than that, I thought it was really good. I liked the art style, the box especially. And I mean, let's be honest, I'm judging a game by its cover right now, but it is amazing, like very film noir-esque. I really enjoyed that. So 1.5 for the visuals. Skill luck, if you have looked on our website, you'll see a written blog where I analyze my rubric. And I explained that this is a balance between skill luck. If it's pure skill chess, that's not getting a 1. If it's pure 0, sorry, that's not getting a 1 either. I want a good balance. And I thought this had that balance very well. It got a 0.5 because there is skill, but there's also a lot of luck in the dice rolling. So I thought that was a good balance. I wish that maybe you could add the 2 dice together, so you got a mediocre roll. Well, I would move 1 guy 6 instead of 1 2 and 1 4. Maybe something like that could add another layer of strategy to the game.
At the same time, you would want to limit that, though, right?
Yeah.
So if you roll a 6 and a 6, that's way too much. But what if the combined dice were 6 or below? Then you could combine.
Yeah.
That would be
So,
good.
and then also looking at pacing, I thought this game was very well paced. The turns were quick enough, and Sean had mentioned that aspect of analysis paralysis, where none of us are heavy AP players. I know some who would have made this game drag on, but with this play, and everyone is thinking of that friend. Friends for each different person. I'm not thinking of anyone in particular. But I thought, with this playgroup, it was a great game, and Sean mentioned on that player elimination. I think when you have players like this, the game goes quickly enough that when eliminated, it's not, a risk-esque elimination where it's, all right, you guys have fun, I'm going home. It's, it's going to be 5 minutes. I can wait 5 minutes, and I can tease you guys as you make stupid moves. To me, it would be nice to see a way to get over player elimination, but I didn't think it ruined this game specifically. So we got the 1.5 for pacing. Theme and immersion, as Sean also mentioned, I really enjoyed this theme. When I was playing the guards, there is an anxiety of, I don't want them to get to the vault. And I don't know why. They're trying to get to a certain point on the map. It doesn't matter. But for some reason, that anxiety is present. And same with the thief. It's like, oh, I can't move there. It did a good job, for some reason, getting you in that mindset. So I'm giving that 1.5 for the theme and immersion. The mechanics I really enjoyed as well. I've mentioned before, I love dice. and I love strategy, and this was a good way to merge those two. I just thought it was fun. I liked the idea of being able to flip them over and see what was there, but then having to try to remember. In this example, we had players forget who they were, which added more hilarity. I didn't know who I was moving the entire game. Some of us thought we were moving us, and we weren't. At one point, Sean convinced me not to move a guy because he thought he saw it and it was a shadow, but in reality, it was one of the thieves. But it wasn't my thief. So, I mean, that mechanic was just enjoyable. I liked that. And then was it fun? I had a great time. I really enjoyed it. I'm giving it 1.5 out of 2 for fun. I would highly recommend this game. It's a total score of 7, which, that's a solid game for what you get. How about Scott? What were your thoughts on this game?
I thought this game was a lot of fun. I liked the dice rolling and the strategy mix between the two. I thought a difficult part was knowing which piece was yours. So just remembering where you were at. And I had a lot of fun. I mean, I won 2 games now, so yeah. Am I supposed to read it?
Yeah. So what would you give it on a score of 1 to 10? What score do you think you'd give this game?
I would actually honestly go with you and say 7. I thought it was pretty fun. I would definitely play it again and take it to game nights.
Awesome. How about Nate? What are your thoughts?
I guess for me, I enjoyed it as well. I really liked kind of the competitive style of it, cooperating yet competing with one another. And I'm a huge memory guy. I'm a huge strategy guy. So I really like how you can switch, how you can consolidate, how you have to remember where your guy is, outsmart the guards or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was easy to understand, easy to play, definitely fast. So I guess for me, I'd give it 7.5.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
So 7, 7, 6, 7.5. All right, so this was Shadow Shift, a total score of 6.875. You can find it on Gamecrafter, and I would recommend this game. It sounds like you guys would too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So don't forget to be sneaky when robbing warehouses, and be wise when catching said robbers. That's all the wisdom I got.
There you go.
Get contacts.
Thanks, guys.
Was this me? Nope, was this me? That was me!
Oh, what?
No, that was you.
That was me. Oh.
So where was me?
Wait, the one that you said was a shadow?
was me.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait,
gosh,
we were
dang.
all confused.
I moved the shadow the entire time. Oh, my gosh.
The same one you were moving, I thought was you. And that's
So wait,
hilarious.
I was the only one that knew where I was?
Yeah.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at DicetowerNetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.